Senator Minchin.
Thanks, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Broadband Communications and the Digital Economy, Senator Conroy. Minister, how can the government possibly justify a salary of nearly $40,000 a week to the CEO of a government company currently called NBN Co that at the moment has no employees, no customers, no revenue, no business plan, and whose existence is subject to the outcome of the government's implementation study?
The Minister for Broadband Communications and the Digital Economy, Senator Conroy.
Thank you, Mr President. Can I thank Senator Minchin for that question? As he's indicated, the government has established a company, NBN Co Limited, that will invest up to $43 billion over 8 years to build the national broadband network, the single largest infrastructure investment in Australia's history. The company was incorporated on the 9th of April 2009 as a wholly Commonwealth-owned public company limited by shares, following the government decision on the NBN on the 7th of April. On the 25th of July, the government announced that Mr Michael Quigley had been appointed as Executive Chairperson and CEO of NBN Co. Mr Quigley is an appointment of outstanding quality, and as has been indicated, Mr Quigley has had a distinguished 36-year career at Alcatel, one of the world's largest telecoms technology and network deployment companies. He was most recently President and Chief Operating Officer of the company, leading more than 55,000 staff and responsible for operations in 130 countries. During the course of his career, Mr Quigley has led the development and integration of large-scale fibre-to-the-premise and fibre-to-the-node implementations for some of the largest US carriers. During his career, Mike has managed the acquisition of numerous technology assets and knows how to value such assets.
Time has expired. Time's expired. Senator Minchin.
Thanks, Mr President. Can I ask the Minister why taxpayers are being forced to pay no less than $46,000 a week for the chairman and directors of NBN Co when they're already paying at least $480,000 per week for an implementation study which may well find that the proposed NBN should be abandoned?
The Minister.
Thank you. Well, as has been indicated, Mr Quigley and the board have extensive experience in regulatory issues and telecommunications standard setting. Mr Quigley, as has been indicated, will receive a total remuneration of a maximum of $1.95 million per annum with no long-term incentive or equity-based remuneration. While Senator Minchin continues to carp and run a policy-free zone, I mean, if you want to ask how does someone justify their collecting a cheque, Senator Minchin, the policy-free zone, could answer that question for himself. I note that other Liberals understand the need for experienced and qualified person to run NBN Co. On Lateline last Friday, Mr Tony Abbott stated—
Order. Your time has expired. Order on both sides. Senator Minchin.
Thanks, Mr President. I asked the Minister, given that the NBN Co currently has absolutely no earnings or revenue whatsoever, where exactly is the $46,000 per week coming from?
The Minister.
Thank you. As I was saying, Mr Tony Abbott said on Lateline on Friday night—
Order. Point of order.
I do go to the point of relevance. The Minister may want to continue his answer to the previous question. This is a new question. I didn't ask him about Mr Abbott. I asked him where the $46,000 per week is coming from.
Order. No. Order. 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 on
Mr.
both
President, I
sides.
submit,
Senator Evans.
I submit there's no point of order. The minister had 6 to 7 seconds to begin his answer when a point of order was taken. And while Senator Conroy can on occasion speak quite quickly, he clearly had no time in which to answer the question, and there's no point of order.
Senator Conroy, you've been answering for 7 seconds according to my clock. You have 53 seconds remaining to answer the question. Senator Conroy.
Yeah. Well, Mr Abbott did have some things to say about this very matter on Friday night. He stated, I guess in the end, if he does a very good job and we do get a national broadband system that does dramatically improve the current situation, I suppose he'll be worth every cent of it. That's Mr Tony Abbott. Worth every cent of it. Mr Abbott has got this right, Mr President. Mr Quigley will be worth every cent of his package.
Order. Resume your seat. Senator Minchin.
Point of order, Mr President. The Minister now has only 23 seconds to us. This is a serious question. I want to know where the $46,000 per week for the chairman and directors is actually coming from, given that in government business enterprises the chairman and directors are paid out of earnings. This company has no earnings. So where is the $46,000 coming from? And he's got 23 seconds.
Senator Conroy, you have 23 seconds to address the question that has been I'm giving a ruling, Senator McDonald. 23 seconds to answer the question that has been asked by— wait a minute, that has been asked by Senator Minchin. You need to address the question.
The question is based on a number—
Someone else is on their feet.
Can
Senator
I take
McDonald.
a point of order on your ruling? Senator Minchin took a point of order, and simply saying that the minister has 23 seconds is not a ruling on the point of order, and quite regularly you do that, Mr Chairman. And I just ask that where a point of order is taken, you must rule whether it is valid and accepted or whether it is not a point of order and rejected.
There's no point of order. I've drawn your attention very clearly to the question that was asked by Senator Minchin and the fact that you have 23 seconds remaining to answer the question that has been asked by Senator Minchin.
Yeah, Senator Minchin was
Conroy.
asking about both the board and Mr Quigley. So let me be clear. Their remuneration. He was asking about the remuneration. And the Remuneration Tribunal has set the board fee at $90,000. Okay? So it has recommended. It has recommended.
Your time—
I'm happy.
Order. Your time— Order. Your time has expired.